Hey, everybody, and welcome to the weekly Holotapes podcast. This is podcast number 5. I was going to say it in Spanish, but words are escaping me. Cut that part out.
That sounded so gay.
First off, gay is, we're starting over. First off, gay is not a word that we use in here as an insult. First off.
That sounded so stupid.
Yeah, you can say that. Because I'll agree with you. We're going to start over. Hang on.
Jordan, hey, do you want me to do it?
Shut up, Monte. I need everybody to shut up.
All right.
Just everybody be quiet for just 1 minute. Hey, everybody, and welcome to the weekly Holotapes podcast. This is podcast number 5, and, we're your favorite Fallout podcast online. There's a couple others, but we are definitely the best. So, we're here to talk about Fallout. I am joined today by Miss Jordan, who's awesome.
Hi.
Say hi, Jordan. Yeah, there we go.
I do.
And Lucas, our tech god.
Yo.
Yep, always there. And our special guest, Monte.
What's up, everybody?
Monte, you need to shut up more. We're actually going to be getting a Shut Up Monte t-shirt going here sometime soon. And by sometime soon, I mean probably 3 years from now. Anyways, continuing on, hello everyone, how's everyone doing today?
Fucking peachy. Oh, shit.
You can say fuck on this podcast. That was just instant vulgarity. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm done.
So,
Lucas, how was your day? Tell us.
It wasn't that good up until now.
So we're this is episode number 5, and as you can tell, we're actually starting to get pretty comfortable talking to each other and everything. We started out this podcast just sort of as a thingamajiggy, just to do as fun. And the more we do it, the more fun we have. So excuse our laughing at really, really stupid jokes. First things
Already
first.
joked me by Jordan.
Shut up, Monte. We're going to be, first things first, we're going to be talking about your weekly dollar. As always, it's our charity little segment here that we do every week. So here are the rules for anyone who doesn't know. I suggest a charitable cause. You go out and find a charity that supports that cause, either through research, through getting awareness out there, through direct influence, whatever you think is best. Find something good. And then what you do is you donate $1 or more, whatever, or you go and tell your neighbor about it. Just knock on their door, burn their house down, and say that's what you get for not donating.
Piss on their front lawn.
I had already here's the thing is I had already gone too far. Now you're just taking it even further. My point being, find a charity. I'm going to suggest a cause. Then if you donate, remember to tell it to us on Twitter at Holotapes Weekly with your name, the charity that you donated to, and the amount. The 3 top donators every week will get a shout out, which is pretty awesome because we're just trying to get some money out there. And if you guys were wondering, yes, we also do give to these to random charities as we go because, why not? I mean, we're here, we're trying to get you to do it, and we'd kind of be hypocrites if we didn't do it the same, So yes, if you were wondering, yes, we do. So today's charity is actually going to be education. There's been a lot of horrible news stories in the news lately. We had a couple of pretty bad incidents with some, I'll say, terror issues. We had the Peshawar attacks. We had the hostage situation in Australia. And we're all very saddened by these issues. So what today's cause is going to be education. The best way to fight these issues is by educating everyone and getting as much information out there as possible so that way everyone has their own mind to do things. And hopefully the more we can educate people, the better off we are. So please just give something and think about it and, just keep education in your thoughts. Just think about how awesome everyone would be if everyone got a free education all the way up through college, all over the world. That would just be just really great. So keep it in mind. On the lighter notes, we are going to answer some questions. Is everybody ready?
Let's get it.
Let's get it started in here.
go.
So question number 1 we have from Canada from Jonathan Ricci Boy on Twitter, and he asks. First off, it's a question from Canada, so I'm sorry you have to live there.
Canada, eh?
I'm sorry. That was a bad joke. He asked, what are your favorite perks or skills on Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas? Personally, definitely has to be jury-rigging. I love me some jury-rigging. Adamantium Skeleton, especially if I'm playing on hardcore mode, because I always find that I get my limbs crippled. And I also like to do light frame, or whatever that... it's not a perk, what is it? It's a trait that you can pick in Fallout New Vegas. I always really like that because I like the agility boost. It's another special point, and I don't really mind getting my limbs broken that much. So, but Adamantium Skeleton kind of balances that out, and I don't know. I really like it personally. So, what about you guys?
Yeah, well, I think jury rigging's probably one of the best ones. I mean, if you're gonna do a serious Fallout playthrough, you need it because, like, for weapons, the rare weapons like the Tesla cannon or anti-material rifle. Yeah, Gobi Scout rifle. They can be hard to find. So instead of just getting like a regular old sniper rifle, repairing it with that, it makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
I like the sniper pack.
For headshots?
Yeah, because I'm big on VATs, and if I'm playing at like a hard level and stuff, it definitely helps in combat. The animal friend perk, because sometimes I get really annoyed with like constantly running into damn rad scorpions or fire ants, or whatever.
And then with the second level of that perk, they actually help you in combat, so that's really cool.
Yeah.
Then another perk that I like is from a mod. And this mod just adds a bunch of perks and traits and such. And I know this is in Old World Blues, but not in the base game. It lets you fill up any empty bottle out there in the wasteland with water. So if you're doing a hardcore survival playthrough, then that's really helpful. Just go to any toilet and just fill it up.
Jordan, what were you saying?
Oh god. Okay, so in 3, I really love the Size Matters perk. Because I play with big guns. But I play pretty hardcore thief. So, obviously the thief perk works really well, and then, my thief skill is super duper duper high.
Your thief skill.
Thief skill. I can't remember what it's called in English. I'm sorry.
That's what you get for playing the German version.
I didn't have a choice.
Yeah, I get it. I think a lot of people like to play that sort of sneaky character.
Yeah.
High lockpick, high sneak, high agility. As I've said before, I always play on very easy, so that's not a thing that I do. But
you're not a real Fallout player. So
yeah, I'm not a real Fallout player. Only 1,000 hours into both games. Definitely not a real Fallout player.
Yeah, well, taking into account that was on very easy, that amounts to about 10 hours. So
yeah,
10 hours of my very hardcore playthroughs with Project Nevada and so.
Oh, shut up.
Just saying.
Shut up.
Just saying.
So yeah, there's a lot of really good perks, and I'm really interested to see continuation of that and things like that. Lots of fun. I think it definitely adds a lot to the game and adds some very interesting things and things like that.
Well, if you want some necessary perks to have, that would definitely be the educated perk.
Educated.
Which, I think, that gives you more skill points from books or whatever.
I think that's something that everybody just gets as just to start with anyways. Like, I don't think anybody goes without that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a necessity. You got to have that.
Unless you're, like, role-playing as some really, really dumb character.
Yeah, pretty much. Also, in Fallout 3, I like the puppies perk because dog meat dies pretty easily, so if he dies, you can just go to Vault 101 and get a puppy. An infinite amount of puppies, so that's a pretty cool perk.
Yep. So yeah, those are the perks that we like. Continuing on, more questions. Sage Fyra on YouTube has a question for us. She says she loves the podcast. Good. I'm glad. We love you too. Her question was...
So
Shut up, Monte. in Bethesda games, you're given this huge world. There's so many ways to play. So how do you do it? How do you role play, eat, drink, mealtime every game? What do you like? Play like an action hero or good, evil, somewhere in between? She says she finds it fascinating. Well, I'm glad you find it fascinating because now we're going to talk about it. Personally, I have one very specific play style that I do when I'm actually like going through and not role playing, and that is I always play a very smart character who uses rifles. Very specifically in New Vegas, I love the medicine stick. It's my favorite gun in all the games. I try and do as much as I can for the Followers of the Apocalypse. It's always my goal if I'm having fun with it. In Fallout 3, I always am as good as I can possibly be, even if it like costs me some perks and things like that. But I always play as good as I possibly can. Very, very smart, very rifle-y character. Low, but for some reason, even though I use small guns, I still have very, very low agility. I always put way more into perception, just because I like seeing enemies way far off.
Yeah, well, you want to know how I play? I'll tell you how I play. I play like a motherfucking wimp. I sneak around all the time. High sneak, high agility, high pickpocket. Oh wait, that's not even a skill. That's Skyrim, fuck. But I pickpocket people all the time. I shoot them in the back. I don't run into combat. I try to avoid combat at all costs. So I mean, I guess you could call me the
wimp.
What's that guy from Thief's name? Damn.
From the game Thief?
Yeah, from the game Thief. Well, Garrett. I'm the Garrett from Thief of Fallout 3 in New Vegas, so that's who I play.
Okay then.
God. Okay, so I either pull a Monte or I kill everything, and there's no in between.
There's no in between.
No in between.
Interesting.
I pulled a Monte.
It's the best way to put it, isn't it?
Sounds like a medical condition.
I mean, I said pull a Cora the other day, so I guess there's that.
Pulled a Cora and you fell in love with a girl?
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Don't worry, we support all sexual orientations.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, that was kind of a spoiler for the
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Cora.
The season finale was amazing, and I cried.
Sorry.
So.
Back on topic. Yeah, no, absolutely. I definitely see where you're coming from. Lucas, let's hear it.
Yeah, normally I play Fallout 3. I try to play it on like a neutral path, but like I always lean towards the good, even when I intend to like, have an evil playthrough. I can't help but end up playing it on the good side.
Yeah, like when I'm playing like Fallout or Elder Scrolls, I always tend to be like a good guy. I don't know why. I'm always the good guy. It's just a lot harder to be evil. I don't know why.
I never choose the bad options. I just kill them. So.
Yeah. Like first playthrough, I'm always a good guy.
Yeah, like always. But then even when I try to go back and just play it in the total opposite direction, sometimes I just can't make certain choices, even though I know it's a damn game, but I'm so like immersed.
Megaton.
Yeah, like would you believe I've never blown up Megaton?
What?
I've never blown up
it.
Megaton.
You need to do it. It's so much fun.
I know it is, but I just can't bring myself to do it.
The other thing that I always like to do in my playthroughs is I know a lot of people like armor and things like that. I always try and wear clothing. I like my suits. I like looking suity. I normally go with one of the business suits, no hat, and glasses.
Well, that's one way to get you killed real quick.
Not very easy.
Oh yeah, not very easy. You can't even die on very easy.
You can.
You just get resurrected as soon as you're down at 1 hit point.
No, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's not at all true.
Well, because I just made it up.
Molly, shut up.
Wait, what are we talking about?
So Monte has completely lost the plot of what we're talking about. Monte, we were talking about how I play on very easy, and I like to wear suits when I play, like in the game. And then you went on to say something about how on very easy you couldn't die, and I'm telling you right now that that is not at all true.
Yeah, that was kind of a joke that you didn't get, kind of went over your head, but...
I don't think that it went over my head. I think you lost the plot.
If we're talking about what we like to wear, I guess that's the topic. Is that the topic?
Oh, my God. We're continuing on with more viewer questions. Jane DeFrank, I like the last name, on Twitter asks us, what is your favorite DLC for both games and why? Fallout 3, it absolutely has to be the Pit.
Oh my god.
What?
You want to fight? The
What?
Pit, absolutely.
What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
No, let me tell you, I love the Pit because I love collectibles.
Yes.
No. There is
Yes.
only one right answer to that question, and that is Point Lookout.
Yes.
Point Lookout is without a doubt the best Fallout 3 DLC, without a question.
No.
It's a fair
Period.
fight. It's a fair fight.
Lucas, we need a tiebreaker here. It's 2 against 1. Whose side are you on?
No,
That's
I
not a
can't.
tie.
Basically. I can't. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I count for more votes because I'm the host.
Well, I mean, Point Lookout, it's only DLC for Fallout 3 that adds, like, this huge world, and it's so much different.
I will admit
Fallout
that.
3's world. It feels so different.
I will admit that it is the only DLC that's really open world.
Yeah.
That is definitely true. But I just like the Pit because I like going around and collecting all the steel ingots. That's what I like to do.
Here's what I like. I like the settlement and the story of the Pit, but I like the actual world and the environment of Point Lookout.
Yeah.
That would be the closest to what I would say is my opinion as well. Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, Point Lookout has that, eerie swamp bayou feeling.
It
got
reminds
like
me of home.
Yeah.
It reminds you of home, yeah.
That's a joke because I'm from Kentucky.
Oh.
I'm from Florida. I get it. I've been to the Everglades. I see it. I get it.
Shout out to any family listening to this.
Shout out to people from the the southeast part of the U.S. A very U.S.-centric podcast here.
Alabama.
Shut up. Still, I'm gonna say it again. The Monte Shut Up T-shirt is gonna come soon. Like again, by soon I mean like 3 years.
They're only $10.99.
You know what? Just because you said that, I'm gonna try and make it $10.99. If I can find a way to make it for $10.99 exactly, I'm gonna make
Call
it.
now, you get 2 free.
No, we're not gonna make a buy one get one free deal.
Oh, motherfucker.
It would probably cost me $5 to make the T-shirt in the first place.
Hashtag
anyways,
free Monte.
New Vegas. What's your favorite? What's your favorite DLC?
Here's the thing. I own all the New Vegas DLCs. I had the Ultimate Edition, but the only one I've played is Old World Blues. And Old World Blues is probably the best anyway because it's just so good. Yes.
No. Oh
yes.
my God. Jordan, please back me up on this. Please tell me you've played them.
I've played all of. I've played them. Old World Blues is by far the worst. Honestly.
What?
Oh,
my
thank
god.
Thank you.
Oh my god.
I'm not. I knew I wasn't the only one.
My personal favorite is the Sierra Madre. I love the Sierra Madre.
Dead Money.
Yeah, Dead Money. It scares the shit out of me, but you know.
Yeah, it's
my favorite.
Definitely brought the survival horror feeling to it. I really liked Honest Hearts personally. Really, really good writing.
I love the world of Honest Hearts.
Yeah, but I mean, if we're talking about writing, I mean, I know all about the DLCs. I just haven't played them. I mean, none of the writing compares to Old World Blues. It has the funniest writing.
Okay.
The funniest writing.
In this conversation, I'm gonna need Monty and Lucas to shut up because you guys haven't played it. Boom, headshot. Everybody, shush. Jordan and I can discuss this. You guys can't. That's the way the world works.
Alright, so I'm going to take this opportunity to bash Old World Blues. It's by far the worst because it takes forever and it's boring.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of complaints that it's pretty repetitive. I don't really agree with that. I mean, it can get tedious at times, but I think that it definitely has a good narrative. It has a lot of very unique features, and you get a lot of pretty awesome stuff from it. You learn a lot about Elijah and Christine and Ulysses.
Yeah.
And things
Finger
like that.
penises.
Yeah, and
All I
finger
gotta
penises.
All I
Yes.
gotta say.
That was weird.
All I gotta say.
Yeah, the conversations are funny.
Yes.
But
I get stuck playing it every playthrough because, you know, Elijah's jury-rigged Tesla cannon is my favorite weapon in New Vegas. So
it's definitely the one that I've played the least, just because it takes very, very long time to feel like you've finished it.
Well,
All the other ones is not too bad.
Can I defend Old World Blues here? Or
All right, let's hear it.
Well, while I agree that the landscape of Old World Blues itself is pretty repetitive and dull and boring, the writing is top notch. I mean, the humor is top notch. It is
The
the
writing and the
funniest.
humor are top notch. Yes.
Yes, those are top notch. And also, I mean, where else are you gonna fight a giant robot rad scorpion?
Robo Scorpion.
Yeah. Where else are you gonna find a miniature Deathclaw inside of a village, inside of like a warehouse or whatever? I mean, where else are you
Wild Wasteland?
where else are you gonna find like floating brains in tanks? You know, I mean, it's just so cool.
I get it. I do. But I still say that's not the best.
I mean, I guess I can't say
sorry,
it's the best
Monte.
because I haven't played all of them. But I mean, you can't say it sucks
Here's
because
the,
it has
here's the thing.
great shit.
This is your home. Lucas and Monty, are you guys listening right now? Here's your homework. Go play all of them. Go play all the DLCs. Take your time. Get completionist on all of them. That means completing all the like challenges and everything in them, and like play them through fully, and enjoy them. And then you can come back and we'll have a real discussion about it. Until then, saying that Old World Blues is the best because it's the only one that you played is probably not, like a good argument point.
I'm still gonna say it's the best.
All right. Continuing on, we have one more viewer question. Johnny the Panther, Johnny_Chand on Twitter, asks us, Eddie or Rex? And he says that he prefers Eddie because it has a ranged attack and it is very predictable. Very predictable. Eddie or Rex? That's a... All right, here's the
Rex
thing.
better.
Why is that?
It's a dog.
It's a
There's
dog.
no other reason.
Something that those of you who haven't played the Lonesome Road DLC probably will not know is that Eddie gets massive upgrades during that DLC.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also sad.
It is really sad, especially because I leave him behind every single time.
Well, you don't have a choice. You can't.
What do you mean?
Go into the I don't think he can go in the wasteland with you. He blows up either way.
Yeah, but the new Eddie, like he sends all of his
yeah.
upgrades to the Eddie in the Mojave Wasteland. But personally, I prefer Eddie because two reasons: Eddie gets so many upgrades during Lonesome Road, making him a lot more useful, and two, truth be told, I am a known hater of animals in real life.
Yeah.
And while Rex definitely is one of the better animals that I've ever seen in a video game, I still prefer having Eddie.
Yeah.
Rex definitely has better in the base game. Rex definitely has better conversations than Eddie does.
Yeah.
So.
Now, as much as I love dogs and I love Rex, he's so cute. But I mean, Edie is just. I mean, he's usually the first companion that you have in New Vegas. I mean, he was the first companion I had.
Yeah.
And he's so dependable. I mean, he floats behind you. You know, he's flying around. Like, you don't even see the creatures. And he just zaps them with his laser.
Yep.
And like the action camera or whatever just zooms in, and you're like, "What the hell just happened?" And you just see Edie just wasted some rad scorpion.
Yeah.
And you hear that music playing. I mean, you can't beat it.
Yep. It's pretty good.
Yep.
He sounds like an Eddie salesman.
Only $10.99 at your nearest Enclave outpost. Go buy one today.
Your very own iBot.
Yep.
Terms and conditions. If you buy an iBot, you are instantly conscripted into the Enclave. All right. Well, that does it for all of our magical, very, very magical user questions. What am I talking about? Fan questions.
Think before you.
If the audience can't tell, we are all having like some sort of brain issue today. And it's really affecting all of us. It's somehow traveled through the internet and infected all of us. So we do apologize. Continuing on.
Post-Christmas syndrome.
My defense is it's 11:30.
It's 11:30 for you. It's 2 in the afternoon for me.
I'll just chalk it up to post-holiday syndrome.
Post-holiday syndrome. Is that a thing?
It is now.
So yeah, today's topic is actually going to be about the realism behind Fallout. Let me ask you guys, what about Fallout that was missing in realism that just pissed you off to no end? I
Well,
know that every single person has a different idea on this. So
Yeah. Well, it kind of pisses me off that like you can just shoot someone in the back of the head multiple times and it won't kill them. I don't know if that irks anyone else, but kind of pisses me off.
I mean, in real life, it would really depend on what you shot them with.
Well, if you shoot anyone in the head with any like caliber ammunition,
That's not true.
They're gonna go down. It
That's
won't
not
kill them. No, I
they
think
will
they're
go
gonna.
down. They'll go
Yeah,
down.
they will go
I'll
down.
admit that.
Yeah.
But if you shoot somebody in the head with like a 22 from 50 yards away, it might even not even go through their skull completely.
Yeah, but it'll still knock them down.
Yeah, I would definitely say they'd definitely
Yeah.
like be holding their head on the fucking floor.
Yeah, so that kind of hurts me.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying, but I feel like that's the same thing. Like in Skyrim, you have that thing where you can shoot somebody with an arrow, they don't die. They're like, "What was that?" And then all of a sudden they're like, must have been nothing."
Yeah, I mean it's a fine line you got to do with the realism and fun, but
Yeah, I mean, I was playing Fallout or Far Cry 4 the other day, and I shot a guy in the head with a sniper rifle, and he was wearing a bulletproof helmet. So he kind of I watched him from the sniper scope, and he got hit. He immediately grabbed his head, looked around, and said, "What was that?" Literally was like, "What was that?" And then
it's a pretty good helmet.
Yeah, I guess so.
But
Giant sniper rifle.
But for real, I'm hoping for like in Fallout 4 that at least if you shoot someone in the head, it's more realistic. Like they get knocked down or something instead of they're still coming at you.
With real humans, yes. I don't want that to be with like.
Well, not with super mutants.
Other things like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But with humans, I would definitely say, yeah, that's probably an issue.
Especially on hardcore mode too.
Yeah, at the exact same time, if I have a BB gun, I don't think I should be able to kill a Deathclaw with it at all.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Unless it's an insanely powerful BB gun.
I guess so.
Tesla cannon BB gun.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Continuing on.
So there are like two major things that bother me. First of all, why is there no vegetation in 3?
That is a good question.
Everything's dead. It's been 200 years. Something should have come back.
It's because of the atmosphere they're trying to build.
Yes, and also the fact that they're trying to pull off like this thing, the difference between radiation in real life and in Fallout. You kind of have to suspend your disbelief a little bit.
Yeah.
Even in New Vegas, there's a little bit, and even not like near Vault 22. Like that's an outstanding case.
Yeah. In New Vegas, they did a really good job of approximating how much vegetation there actually is in the Mojave Desert. It's pretty freaking empty.
Yeah.
So they didn't really have to worry about that.
Yeah, and in 3, it's never explicitly said that a lot of those dead trees are actually dead, or the bushes and things. They could just be, black, and that could have been how the radiation affected them. I know in Chernobyl there are trees now that have a red undertone because of how the radiation affected them. It's some kind of like cancer or something that every tree around Chernobyl gets now. So you never really know how.
They have that algae that is growing in the reactor now, don't they?
Yeah, there's a lot of weird things going on there, and that's really a really good place to look at, what kind of weird things that radiation can really do.
Yeah. Well, also in Fallout 3, you have a Harold there who is a walking, talking tree. So, depending on if you help him or not, and whether or not that's considered canon in the lore, we could be on the edge of a new era of vegetation in Fallout.
Harold, what were we going to say, Lucas?
I was going to say the thing with that Harold mission, that Harold quest, and also the Brotherhood of Steel expansion. When you complete both of those, it gives you the impression that you're going to have that you're going to help the wasteland get back to normal. And I think we even mentioned it before, but it's a shame that you don't get to see some slight sign of that, like more vegetation eventually start to appear, and some kind of visual effect on the world.
So that would have been a good thing to talk about in our Fallout 4 podcast, but if if the next game carries over a little bit, we should see some more vegetation and clean water and such.
Yeah. But as you made a comment about Harold being canon, Harold is completely canon. He has been since what, Fallout 1 or 2 when you first meet him?
Yeah, I know that, but I was saying
which ending
side
for him is. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's known yet.
But the other thing that really bothers me is the amount of just random food that's lying around, because I would think if there was a nuclear apocalypse, those who made it the first few days would stockpile.
Yeah. Well, I mean, most of it is gone. I mean, you go to the Super Duper Mart, there's really pretty much nothing left.
Yeah, but there's still something left, and that's the thing is after all that time,
also,
everything would be picked clean. There wouldn't be a box of mash or whatever left.
Also, they must be putting some heavy preservatives and stuff. Like, I know there's the joke that Twinkies will last forever, but
Twinkies really only have a shelf life of like 14 days in real life. So yeah, I mean, you have to suspend your disbelief a little bit. The other thing is, like, occasionally you'll go into these vaults that really shouldn't have been opened by anyone but you, and who knows how long, and sometimes you'll just come across like a fresh apple. It doesn't really make any sense. So
the lack of bodies.
I think a lot of the times bodies would have been eaten away by bacteria and things like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Lucas, what bothers you about it? Let's hear it. I know you've got the biggest opinion on this.
The limbs and the weapons. That was definitely something that bothered me a lot. Again, with the headshots, and like a guy can take a headshot and just kind of hold his head like and then just continue to charge at you at the same pace and stuff. And like the physics when people take hits. Although that's more to do with the gameplay than the setting, comparing the gameplay to real world realism as opposed to the setting. I mean, some of the landscape and stuff, I know that it's post-apocalyptic and it should be totally destroyed and fallen to bits, but I feel like I felt like it was still missing something. Like it was too empty almost. I mean, there'd be more settlements and things going on. And I know Fallout was a packed game with a lot of content, but like I still felt like there could have been more, just more little things, more.
Yeah, I felt that way with New Vegas, just because I would think that close to such a large city, even in the Fallout universe, there'd be more people, or maybe not people, but more of a settlement.
Yeah, like the people that couldn't get into the strip,
right?
They'd still settle around like refugees, and they'd build huge camps.
Well, here's my 2 cents on it: is that there's 2 reasons for that kind of settlement issue. Is that one, Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas just didn't have enough power behind them, computing power, designer power, etc., or like programming power behind them to show all of these people. If you go through there's some mods that add back in these NPCs that were originally taken out, so that way it would run better. And there's just like an amazing amount of people that are added to like Camp McCarran and Freeside. It's quite a bit. The other thing is that you have to realize that these settlements are very, very small, even considering the video game size issue that always comes up. These settlements are very, very small. I think that I think a while back we talked about Megaton being this settlement, and I think that we all originally agreed that it was only like a total of maybe 100 people staying there permanently, and that there were a lot of people just coming in and out.
Mm.
So that's definitely a big issue when we're talking about that kind of thing. So
also, I mean, just in terms of population, do we know the stats for like how many NPCs are in Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas?
Not off the top of my head, I don't know.
Because I suppose for the area and the distance that you can play, I suppose.
Maybe. I mean, places like I would have really expected a lot more people to be in New Vegas, in the Mojave area, because House stopped so many bombs from being hit. It's a very prosperous area. Hoover Dam guarantees that you have power and things like that. You would think there would be a lot more people there. than there was. On the other hand, in DC, I actually think there was more people than I expected in total. I expected more on places like Underworld to be around, where it was more like ghouls and things like that, just because of the radiation to the area.
I expected that too. Those kind of towns and
Yeah.
something of that size. I'm looking on the wiki page now, and it says that New Vegas has a total of 373 NPCs, not including DLCs.
And let's 300.
319, yeah.
3,319?
319 for 3.
Okay. Now, if we were going to put that in real life, I would probably multiply that number by maybe 10, maybe 50 at max, to get a really good approximate number on how many people would probably be in that area. I would definitely keep that number under 30,000 at absolute max.
These are only the named characters, so you have to take into account all of the
raiders and
the talent company and everything like that.
Yeah, that's true. But still, I would definitely say that the entirety of DC and the DC Outlands definitely have to be less than 30,000 people total. And I would say even in New Vegas, I would say that the entire state of Nevada, I would guess, has less than 100,000 people. And then going even further, the NCR in total, I would guess, has less than 300,000 people. Which, let's talk about how small that number is. I'm talking about the NCR, which is spread out across giant cities, has less than 300,000 people, while New York has, something like over 1 million easily? I don't even know what the population of New York is. It's got to be way more than 1 million, because I think the population of...
It has to be more than...
The population of Everett, which is a city about 25 minutes north of Seattle here, has, I pass the sign all the time. It's like 1.2 million people in it by itself. So New York's got to be, 300 million in itself?
It's 20 million, almost.
Yeah. So that's a crazy low number of people. And in the NCR, I'd say my guess would be right around 300,000 people. My absolute max that I would estimate is 1 million. I mean, these are really, really small numbers, so... personal ideas.
You could be right. Then it's like, I feel like when you say 300,000 NCR members, you're talking about in New Vegas alone?
Or are you talking about in the entire NCR?
In the NCR, I'm talking 300,000 people.
And what did they span across again?
They spanned across a good chunk of Southern California.
I suppose, yeah. But then it's like, because the world seems so brutal and stuff, it's like you said, I really don't see a large number of survivors. Like you were saying about DC having probably less than 30,000. I kind of believe that in the Fallout lore. That I think you're probably right.
Yeah. I would say, if I had to take a guess and say in the entirety of the U.S. in the Fallout world, I would say there are less than not even 15 million people. I think it's probably low.
I think definitely in the entire Fallout universe, there's probably only 40 million people left. Because you have to remember that in the entire world, because you have to remember that Europe and the Middle East had already had their nuclear war.
That's true.
Like, they had the separate one a few years beforehand, and so their numbers were probably really low.
No, here's the thing. No, this is what I'm going to guess. I'm going to guess because most of South America and Africa were not involved in these wars. I would actually say that those two together probably make up 200 million people themselves, while the rest of the world has 40 million total. If I had to guess.
Depends on how far the radiation is spread. I mean, if you're...
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that between Africa and South America, accounting even for actual fallout, not the game name, but fallout, the radiation that gets in the atmosphere, the devastation to global climate change and things like that, I would say that they would probably be the most populous places. I can imagine coming into Africa if you could somehow take a boat from the U.S. to Africa in the Fallout universe, I would say it would probably be pretty prosperous compared to NCR, DC, Wasteland, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah.
It's a damn interesting concept. Like, I really wish that they could somehow introduce, part of that lore. Because technically it doesn't exist, does it? I mean, Fallout lore they only really focus on, like, America.
The US.
They talk about, parts of Europe. But if they could somehow mention parts of the rest of the world, that'd be amazing.
Well, I think
what happened in, like, Australia and the South Pacific, as well as Africa, South
America,
the Caribbean.
Yeah, and seeing what kind of state Russia and China were in, since they were also big players in the Great War. But I think that the best way to implement that would be something along the lines of maybe in a future game we'll find an enclave data bank where they had records of where they were trying to keep in contact with other world leaders, even if they were enemies. Trying to keep track of what's going on in the world, and we would maybe get an estimate from that. But I think that would probably be the closest that we'll ever come, because I think we have all agreed that Fallout is definitely a U.S. game, and it would be very, very hard to get the same Americana 1950s feeling in another country. Because
With that being said, though, I would kill for the Great Lakes region.
Oh, you mean
Give me Toronto.
Expand on what you mean by the Great Lakes region for non-Americans.
Okay, so I mean, so you'd have the upper part of the Ohio Valley, so like the upper part of Ohio, Michigan, Minnesota, Toronto, that part of Ontario, and it would be interesting to see, as I've said before, what kind of pushback there's still left from the annexation of Canada.
Yeah, that would be very interesting to see.
Although, supposedly, there was a reference to Toronto in the pit.
Yeah.
But I must have missed it.
Yeah, they call it Ronto now. And they say that it does have its own settlement, very, very similar to the Strip kind of area, I think is the kind of vibe that they gave, is that it wasn't super prosperous, but at the exact same time, it wasn't megaton. It was.
Did they mention anything about the weather?
They never really talk about the weather in Fallout, and that's very, very interesting. The most that they ever do is, the NCR soldiers' comments on
apocalyptic winter.
Yeah, almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter. And we don't really, we haven't seen rain or anything, and that's maybe something that we're going to see in Fallout 4. But I think in total, we're kind of getting to a closing here on the end of our podcast. So I want to thank you all for listening, and make sure that you direct all of your questions to our Twitter at Holotapes Weekly. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube, which is the 3-Day Media channel. I want a big thanks to 3-Day Media and their company for adopting us into their fold. Oh, wait. We made 3-Day Media. If you didn't know that, there you go. We are 3-Day Media. We're going to be getting more projects out there. You're going to be seeing some Let's Plays in the coming months. You're going to be seeing a lot more of the holotapes. Maybe some magical other productions that we're working on. We've got a lot of great people that are going to be working with us from all levels of the world. And we're always going to keep this company international, as always, and make sure that we definitely have some different viewpoints. But anyways, make sure you play Fallout. Your challenge today is don't be like Lucas and Monte and maybe actually play some, DLC from New Vegas, pretty please. And, just keep up. I hope you all had a happy holidays. I know the end of Hanukkah was last week, and we didn't, the end of Hanukkah and Christmas and whatever else you celebrate were all last week, so we didn't put out any content. So enjoy it this week. We're going to have a lot more coming up in the new year. Keep a lookout because there's a lot of big stuff coming. So, have a good day. Bye.
You have to say bye, Jordan.
Everybody has to say bye.
I'm sorry.
Okay, go on.
Bye.
Peace out. Hang on, let me take that again. Peace out. Oh, you laughed. Stop. Alright, I'm gonna have to mute you. Just a second, I'm gonna mute you guys.
Alright, go for it.
There we go. Peace out.
Oh my god.
I don't
You have to keep that entire end word in.
the world
always does failing miserably.
Yes.
I just want to start